Hey there, history enthusiast and curious soul. Grab a seat and maybe a glass of wine. Carthaginians were known for their trade in fine goods. Because we're about to embark on an epic journey through the rise and fall of one of history's most fascinating civilizations, Carthage. From its humble beginnings as a Phoenician trading post to its fiery end at the hands of Rome, this story is packed with ambition, betrayal, and enough drama to rival any Netflix series. Ready? Let's dive in. Let's start with the basics. Carthage wasn't just some random city, it was a powerhouse, a beacon of wealth, culture, and military might. Founded around 814 BCE by Phoenician settlers from Tyre, modern-day Lebanon, Carthage quickly grew into a dominant force in the Mediterranean. Located in what is now Tunisia, its strategic position made it a hub for trade, connecting Europe, Africa, and Asia. Imagine bustling markets filled with exotic spices, gold, ivory, and textiles. Picture massive fleets of ships crisscrossing the seas, bringing riches back to Carthage. This was no ordinary city, it was a thriving metropolis that rivaled even Rome in its heyday. But here's the kicker. Carthage wasn't just rich, it was powerful. At its peak, it controlled vast territories across North Africa, Spain, Sicily, and beyond. Its navy ruled the waves and its generals became legends. So how did such a mighty empire collapse? Buckle up, it's a wild ride. Carthage's success was built on trade. Thanks to its location along key maritime routes, it became a melting pot of cultures and goods. The Carthaginians were savvy merchants, establishing colonies and trade networks that stretched from the Atlantic Ocean to the Red Sea. They traded everything from precious metals to luxury items, amassing incredible wealth. But they weren't just traders, they were innovators. Carthage developed advanced shipbuilding techniques, creating swift, sturdy vessels capable of both commerce and combat. Their navy was unmatched, boasting hundreds of warships and thousands of sailors. When it came to warfare, Carthage had some tricks up its sleeve. One name stands out above all others: Hannibal Barca, arguably the greatest general in ancient history. During the Second Punic War, more on that later, Hannibal famously marched his army, including elephants, over the Alps to invade Italy. He crushed Roman legions at battles like Trebia, Lake Trasimene, and Cannae, coming within inches of toppling Rome itself. Hannibal's brilliance showcased Carthage's ability to adapt and innovate. While Rome relied heavily on infantry, Carthage excelled in naval warfare, cavalry tactics, and diplomacy. It seemed unstoppable until it wasn't. Now comes the tragic part, the downfall. If you've ever heard the phrase divide and conquer, you'll see it play out perfectly in Carthage's demise. For over a century, Carthage and Rome clashed in three brutal conflicts known as the Punic Wars. These wars weren't just about land or resources, they were existential struggles for supremacy in the Mediterranean. First Punic War, 264-241 BCE. Fought primarily at sea, this conflict ended with Rome seizing control of Sicily, dealing Carthage a major blow. Second Punic War, 218-201 BCE. This is where Hannibal shines, or rather, almost succeeds. Despite his stunning victories, he couldn't deliver the knockout punch. Rome regrouped, counterattacked, and eventually forced Carthage to surrender. Third Punic War, 149-146 BCE. By this point, Carthage was weakened but still standing. Rome, however, couldn't tolerate a rival. Led by Scipio Aemilianus, Roman forces laid siege to Carthage, starving its people and razing the city to the ground. Legend has it that salt was scattered over the ruins to curse the land forever. While Rome played a big role in Carthage's downfall, internal issues sealed its fate. Corruption, political infighting, and reliance on mercenaries eroded unity. Plus, Carthage underestimated Rome's determination, a fatal mistake. You might be thinking, okay, so Carthage fell, big deal, Why does this matter today? Well, here's why. Carthage set standards in navigation, trade, and urban planning that influence future civilizations. Even after its destruction, its ideas lived on. Carthage's downfall serves as a cautionary tale about overreach and complacency. No matter how powerful you are, arrogance can bring you crashing down. Without defeating Carthage, Rome might never have risen to dominate the Mediterranean. The Punic Wars shaped the course of Western civilization. I'll admit, reading about Carthage always leaves me feeling bittersweet. On one hand, I'm in awe of their achievements, their ingenuity, their resilience, their sheer audacity. On the other hand, I can't help but mourn their loss. Imagine a world where Carthage survived. What kind of cultural fusion might we have seen? What innovations could they have contributed? And then there's Hannibal. Oh, Hannibal. His daring crossing of the Alps gives me chills every time. To think he came so close to changing history, only to be undone by politics and bad timing. It's heartbreaking, but also inspiring. He reminds us that greatness isn't just about winning. It's about leaving a mark that lasts. So, next time you hear about Carthage, don't just think of it as a footnote in Roman history. Think of it as a shining example of human potential and a sobering reminder of fragility. Carthage rose to incredible heights, only to fall spectacularly. But its legacy lives on, whispering lessons about ambition, adaptation, and the cost of power. What do you think? Would you have sided with Carthage or Rome during the Punic Wars? Or would you have tried to stay neutral and avoid getting caught in the crossfire? Let's chat. I'd love to hear your thoughts.